Hello, I'm Taylor Knight from the Community Bank of Dublin, Lawrence County, and we offer great customer service. Come in today and let us open a checking, savings, or CD account for you. So come see us at the Community Bank of Dublin, Lawrence County, where we have been serving the community for more than 12 years.
I'm Larry Shank. I'm with Morris Bank, and I am the chairman of the chamber. And this morning I have the privilege of introducing our guest speaker, Mr. Steve Justice. Steve Justice is the executive director of the Georgia Centers of Innovation, a division of the Georgia Department of Economic Development. Mr. Justice brings to his role more than 30 years diverse experience in the aerospace and innovation industries with the Georgia Center of Innovation for Aerospace, Lockheed Martin, Gulfstream Aerospace, Northrop Grumman, Delta Airlines, the Ginn Group. He also founded 2 Georgia-based aerospace companies. Prior to assuming the executive director position, Mr. Justice was the director of the Center of Innovation for Aerospace, where he was responsible for a wide-ranging program to accelerate Georgia aerospace companies' growth by helping them commercialize new products, services, and business models, connecting them with university research and industry expertise, as well as other Georgia resources for the aerospace industry. He is a former member of the National Board of Directors of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, the AIAA, and the AIAA Technical Committee on Structural Dynamics and General Aviation, and is current member of the AIAA Technical Committee on Society and Aerospace Technology. Mr. Justice is a member of the Georgia Institute of Technology School of Aerospace Advisory Council and the Georgia Southern University College of Engineering and Information Technology Advisory Council. Help me this morning welcoming Mr. Steve Justice.
But it's great to be in Middle Georgia. I consider myself a honorary Middle Georgian, and because Jay, nice to see Jay and my wife went to school together at the great Dodge County High School. So I've spent a lot of time down Middle Georgia. I remember fondly when we were dating, my wife and Barbara and I, and of course the Eastman didn't have a movie theater, so we'd have to run over to Dublin a lot to go see the movies and get something to eat and stuff like that. So I'm sorry if when I was a younger man, I ran somebody down or anything with my car or anything like that running around in Dublin. But it is great to be here in Middle Georgia, talk a little bit about what's going on in the innovation sector in the state of Georgia. So I run the Centers of Innovation, and we're going to tell you a little bit about that. But let's start with talking about what is innovation? It can mean different things to different people. At our centers, we take the approach that, from a business point of view, that innovation is the process of a company or an individual developing a product or a service that they can sell to somebody for money. Now, if you're in business, you understand that's very important because you want people to buy your products and to pay you for that. And there's a process for that that's become more refined over the years of starting with the concept, evaluate that, and in the middle there, design, build, and experiment. And you read about that if you read about innovation, that fail early and often. In government, we don't like the word fail. I say experiment and learn your lessons quickly when we're talking to the legislature. But what we want to do is you want to get that idea out there, build that prototype, get it out, get real-world testing on it. Let potential customers see that. Learn your lessons, iterate, and get that product refined so you can get it out there in the marketplace. But it doesn't stop there. Once you get out into the marketplace and you're selling it and supporting it, you're going to get constant feedback from your customers. You're going to have new ideas, and you feed that back in. So it's this whole ongoing process. It never stops of improving what you have already, that evolutionary innovation, and then the revolutionary or disruptive. You've heard that term, disrupting the markets. So it's not anything that's new. We've been doing this for hundreds of years, but it's very important to local communities to be able to do this as well. All right, now you're going to say, why is this guy talking to me about animals all of a sudden? How many people have heard the term unicorn for business? Okay, some of you heard that. Unicorn is that term that was coined a number of years ago for those unique companies, those startups that have that meteoric rise in value and do a big exit. You hear the sale for $1 billion, $1.5 billion. And that's the Facebooks, the Airbnbs, the SpaceXs, those big companies. Now, why do we call them unicorns? Because they are so rare that they're almost mythical. Only 0.07% of startups reach the unicorn status. And Forbes only listed 174 unicorns in the United States out of over 29 million businesses. So you can't bank your economy on the creation of unicorns. So some other authors came up with this term that I really like called zebras, another animal. Zebras are strong. Zebras have stamina. There's lots of them. They're not mythical. They have those stripes. They're both black and white. They both are profitable, but they also serve their communities. And I contend that for our local economies, we need more zebras than unicorns. But the problem is we see out there for the venture capitalists and people investing, they're continually looking for the unicorns. And they're missing some of these opportunities with what we now call zebra companies. They're strong, they're profitable, they're growing, maybe not 10x like you're seeing with some of these startups, but they are growing, they are contributing to their communities. I would much rather have a whole herd of zebras than a unicorn every 10 years or so. So that's one of the things we're trying to do is create more zebra companies here. Now imagine most of you here, you're zebra companies. So now we're going to step away from the zoo a little bit and talk about the innovation ecosystem. And the good news is whether you're trying to create that unicorn or trying to grow your local company, we have a lot of resources in the state of Georgia that can help you. We call it the innovation ecosystem. And it's everything from the incubators and the co-working spaces and all these things that you see in Midtown Atlanta and in Savannah and Columbus and other places, to all the different programs that are out there in the university system, the technical college system. There's no lack of resources to help your company, be it from universities, from nonprofits, from the state. It's just getting in touch with those things. The good news is that there's so much that can help you. The bad news is there is so much, and it's hard to pick out which ones are the right ones for you. And that's where we come in. So we focus on 6 key industries: aerospace, agribusiness, energy technology, information technology, logistics, and manufacturing. And we have offices all over the state, as you see, but we're really virtual centers of innovation. We're not a big building that you come to. I like to say that we bring innovation to you. So our mission is to help existing companies to grow, to create those new products and services. So we have a big team of folks at the Department of Economic Development that work with existing industries and sites and things like that. We take it to the next level. We want to know what's keeping you up at night. That's my favorite question. What's keeping you from developing that new product? Do you need help building a prototype? Do you need help with getting more workforce and training? Whatever it is, we're going to find a way to help you. We're going to connect you with those resources. And we come to you. You don't come to us. So be it in Dublin or Thomasville or Wrightsville or wherever you're at, we bring the resources to you. And that's the key there. So I want to go over some examples of some of the things we've done. So we do this through technical industry expertise. As you heard, unfortunately, very lengthy. I spent 30 years in the aerospace industry, so all our directors have that industry experience. We are different from normal economic developers. Most economic developers, like Heath, they have to be generalists. They're covering a geographic area and covering all the different industries and all the different things happening in that area. We flip that over and we have specialists in manufacturing, logistics, those areas. And they cover the whole state. So we have people who have worked in your industry, speak your language, and can understand your problems. And then we connect you with the resources, and we do partnerships. And we helped over 1,000 companies last year. So let's talk about a few examples of this. Yamaha Motor Factoring in Noonan makes a lot of ATVs and watercraft. They were having a real problem with the composite shells that they were putting on those, real quality problem, a lot of rejections, a lot of comments from their customers. So they had to think about sending all this back to Japan to do that R&D. Well, that was going to be very lengthy and costly. Well, our director was able to identify an expert at Georgia Tech to work with the company and identify new nanomaterials and things that could help them. And we developed a pilot line at Georgia Tech to test this new manufacturing process before they could transfer it back down to Noonan. The bottom line, Georgia Tech got a new pilot line that is there now to help other companies, and Yamaha was able to fix their problems, up their production, and improve their quality. It was a win-win for everyone involved. On the front of unmanned aircraft, we've been doing a lot of work between our Aerospace Center and our Ag Center. A few years ago, the question was, can you really use unmanned aircraft to look down on the fields and really understand what's going on with that eye in the sky? So we developed a project with the University of Georgia, with their top experts in peanuts and cotton, with the Sunbelt Ag Expo, where there's test fields, where we're able to fly over that for a whole season and be able to get that imagery. And finally, one of my favorite places, Middle Georgia State University, and the aviation school, which handled all the flight testing of that. The bottom line was we were able to have company-guided systems technology involved with that, and they were able to learn a lot about using these systems in ag. The universities learned a lot about it, and so when the FAA finally said, yes, you can go do this commercially, we were ready for that. Georgia was on the leading edge of that, and we have companies now doing that across Georgia. And finally, in space, which is near and dear to my heart, we have a company in Atlanta, Generation Orbit's developing new launch system for small sats. It's a little CubeSat about yay big. And you can do a lot of things with those CubeSats that you used to have a big 1,000-pound satellite with. Everything's getting a lot smaller. So they're developing this system. So we connected them with the Phoenix Air Group in Cartersville, who actually has Gulfstream aircraft that they're going to launch off of. Mercer University and their engineering research program has been doing structural testing for that in Warner Robins. And again, Middle Georgia State University was actually building a lot of the test pieces for them. So the bottom line is we're able to move that company forward on their testing and their development program, and they have a now multi-million-dollar contract with NASA to do their first launches later this year. And we help them get there.
There are many ways of doing business today.
Hello?
Call centers, mobile apps.
Right away.
But when it comes to what really matters, our way is pretty simple. To be there when you need us most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Orr Insurance in Dublin is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Show you a little video of a new project we just finished.
When we started ESCO-Go, we wanted to be the natural alternative to lighter fluid and giving consumers a choice where they didn't have to use petrochemical to light their barbecue. They didn't have to have that fuel taste in their food. So ESCO-Go started making Smarter Starter Fluid, and Smarter Starter Fluid is an all-natural lighter fluid for charcoal. It performed great on lump, which is kind of where the high-end cookers are going, but people were using Smarter Starter Fluid when they bought their briquettes. When you're dealing with an accelerant on something as dense as a briquette, it dissipates. We had to come up with a different formula. We didn't have the research and development that we needed, and we didn't have the R&D budget for it.
The mission of the Center of Innovation for Agribusiness is to help our agribusinesses in Georgia connect, compete, and grow. One way we do that is helping connect the resources that we have throughout the university system at Georgia with our private companies to help do the research to commercialize their products. ESCO-Go was a perfect match for the University of Georgia. At the College of Engineering, they have scientists who have been doing biofuel research for many years.
So we needed a product that burned really well and that met the really strict air quality concerns that we have to meet for volatile organic compounds. We went and looked for a whole bunch of different things that could burn, that we could buy in large volume, and that were probably waste products from other industries.
The way you add value to an agricultural product is taking that raw product that we're producing right here in Georgia and doing some sort of processing, some sort of innovative new step to help it sell in the retail market.
Working with the University of Georgia with the grant money that we got from the Innovation Center allowed us to come up with a formula that works great on briquettes, works great on lump, has a great brand, Eco Green, and has diversified our SKU set.
We get to make products that end up in the stores, in the big boxes. It's really great to see that. And it's really great that Georgia gives us the opportunity to work with Georgia companies, use Georgia funding on Georgia product.
Being able to help our agribusinesses grow their business and create more jobs benefits everybody in rural Georgia.
With the Centers of Innovation, they're not interested in equity. They're interested in employment, and the revenue that can be driven from your product is going to create the tax base that's going to make things better for Georgia.
And especially the last bit there, you see that economic development is a team sport. It just wasn't the Center of Innovation for Agribusiness. This company had needs for moving their materials around, so our Center of Innovation for Logistics got involved to find them new ways to do that. Our regional representative with the department worked with them on R&D tax credits, other things. Our manufacturing team helped them with finding people to help them scale up and be able to bottle even more of this, because now they have some big contracts with Home Depot and some other big stores, which has really improved their sales. So it is a team sport, and so we bring the whole team from economic development, both at the state level and local level, into projects like this. And that's just one example of, like I said, over 1,000 interactions we had last year.
Georgia Military College is a 2-year associate's degree granting institution. We are an open admissions college. What that means is all you need to do is have a high school diploma or a GED to get accepted into GMC. We offer several associate's degree programs, including business administration, pre-nursing, psychology, criminal justice, as well as education. We offer classes during the morning, evening, and at night. We even offer some weekend classes. We offer online classes as well as in-seat classes, whatever is convenient for you and your schedule. We are located at 200 South Jefferson Street in Dublin, Georgia. If you want a great education with small class sizes, affordable tuition, we would love to see you here. Stop by to see us or give us a call. Start here, go anywhere. Georgia Military College, Dublin campus.
Just quickly, I'd go through just so you are aware of the 6 centers we have. Aerospace, Amy Hudnall is our director there. We do a lot of work down in Middle Georgia because of the base and the things that are going on at the Macon Airport. We also do a lot of work with the aviation school in Eastman. We have Chris Shimon, who you just saw in the video, who directs our Center of Innovation for Agribusiness. It's headquartered down in Tifton, and he spends most of his time really on the car, traveling all around Georgia, working with companies. Have a great team under him. Kostas Sigmoglu, who does our energy program. We're doing some very interesting things in energy and sustainability. We're doing controlled environment agriculture and urban agriculture. There are things we don't grow in Georgia because of our environment here, but now with controlled environment agriculture, we can grow leafy greens and other things that people want. They want those fresh foods in their stores. They want them shipped from California or Chile. So we're going to be able to grow more things in Georgia, even more localize our food base. But we're also looking at localizing our energy base. Most people don't know we're in the top 10 states in terms of solar energy production. And we're working with GDOT and other companies and groups to expand that. We're looking at biofuels. It's not quite ready for prime time yet in terms of technology and cost, but it's getting there. And so we're looking at turning us into an energy producer. Right now we pay over $27 billion a year to bring different fossil fuels into Georgia because we don't have oil wells, we don't have gas wells, we don't have coal mines. So the more energy we're able to produce locally means that money does not go out of Georgia, it stays here, which benefits our economy. So we're working very strongly in that area. In our IT is big in the state of Georgia, and you've read a lot about the governor's investment in Augusta with a $100 million for the new cyber training center. We're working very closely with them. We have a new center at the Georgia Tech's building, 750,000 square feet in Atlanta, called the CODA. And then finally in Columbus, we have Columbus State University. They have their new cybersecurity center for fintech, financial technology. So we have some great resources in the state that you can connect to if you have issues in IT, and especially in cybersecurity, which is, as you read the news, is a big deal right now. And in logistics, next week we're having our big Georgia Logistics Summit in Atlanta. And logistics is a big thing in the state of Georgia with our ports in Savannah and Brunswick, our extensive road system, our rail system. We move stuff through Georgia like crazy. And you can reach 80% of the U.S. population from Georgia in 2 days truck travel. So we are a great logistics hub. That's why you're seeing all these big buildings along 16 and 75 and everywhere in the state. And we work with companies to help them find new technologies to help them lower their cost and improve efficiency. And we work with the folks who are shipping things. So if you are not a logistics provider, but you're a user of logistics, our team can help you find providers and new ways to move your things to save you money or to improve the efficiency of how you ship things. So it's not just for the folks that are embedded in the logistics industry. If you need help moving your product, our team can help you. And then finally, our manufacturing center. Georgia is a manufacturing hub. We send out over $20 billion worth of manufactured goods every year internationally. We have thousands of manufacturing organizations, companies all over the state. So our team is headquartered at Georgia Tech, but works very closely also with Georgia Southern University in their new manufacturing engineering program. Works with companies to help them find new ways to manufacture, improve their processes. We do a lot of work with companies that need to expand their capabilities, maybe through contract manufacturing, things like that. So we stand ready to help you in that area. So a couple of things that we've just rolled out in the last few months. You heard me at the very beginning talk about this big innovation ecosystem we have and all these resources you can connect to. But we work in it every day and we can't keep it all up in our heads. So we created a database working with the Advanced Technology Development Center at Georgia Tech called Georgia Innovates. It's an online database, it's a living database of all the innovation resources that we've found and will continue to find. We keep updating it every week. You can go to this website, georgiainnovates.com, and you can look up where an incubator is, where a business support program is, where venture capitalists are. And we continue to add that. So this is version 1 that we've put up just since February. We invite you to go look at it, play with it, break it. We'd love for you to find where we have some areas we need to improve, and we'd love to get your feedback on this. And if you have an innovation resource that's not listed, you have a new incubator or something like that you're putting in your community, we'd love to add it. The whole point is to be able to connect people to resources to allow them to move forward with their projects. And that's up 24/7 on the internet. And then since we are in Middle Georgia and the base at Warner Robins is a big part of the economy here in Middle Georgia, we also over the summer rolled out the Georgia Defense Exchange. I spent a lot of years working in the defense industry, and it's sometimes hard to find other companies to partner with, especially if you're a small company and you want to go after a big contract, or to find prime contractors that you can team with and be a sub to them. So we created this new tool using some grant money we got from the Department of Defense and their Office of Economic Adjustment. It is a listing of all the defense and aerospace contractors in the state of Georgia. It lists all the contracts that are being performed here in the state of Georgia, and it also aggregates information from the federal government on new opportunities that are coming that you can bid on. So if any of you work in the defense industry, you know that sometimes you have to pay big bucks, $5,000, $10,000 a year for a subscription to services that can give you this kind of information. This is free. So we invite you to go look at that. If your company is not listed and you're a defense contractor, we'd love to get you on there. But this is to help you find other companies you can work with, look at the opportunities. One thing I used to do when I was in the business, I'd look at the contracts that were currently going on. There were 5-year contracts, maybe you're in year 4. I'd say, they're going to recompete this. And I'd get ready for that competition. So we put this out here to help our Georgia defense and federal contractors to be able to improve their win rate and grow their companies. So that's another service that we put out there. So that's our leadership team for the centers. Reach out directly to any of the directors. If you can't get them, find me. I'll get them engaged with you. But our job is to help you grow your companies wherever you are. And we want to do that. We want you to be one of those 1,000+ folks we work with every year.